Hey, hi everyone, and welcome to LaborVision, the podcast for labor and the community. Hey, today we want everybody to hit that subscribe button, that follow button. Let's get the listenership up and ready to go. Today we got AFSCME Local 1659, and we got the president, Darlene Buffington, and Nicole Greer, the steward, in the house today. And today they are going to tell their story. What's going on with AFSCME 1659? First of all, how y'all doing today?
We're just fine.
Cool.
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. What's happening? What's going on? Are you enjoying the warm weather?
Yes.
Yeah, we can't wait and hope that it lasts as long as possible.
Again, LaborVision is where we tell our stories. We don't wait for other folks to tell our story.
Right.
What is your story today? What's going on?
Where shall we begin?
Oh, Lord, this is about to get good.
Money.
First of all, Wayne County is one of the largest and vast counties in Michigan. We're bigger than Genesee, Oakland, Macomb, etc. But we're one of the most povertized. We're being taken over in the instance where we're in a situation where the court is pretty much reaching out to everything. You know, we have our own Michigan Supreme Court.
Okay.
Whereas other states usually have other divisions. They're more or less like ran under a certain system.
Okay, hold on. You're saying that Michigan, can you go a little deeper in that Supreme Court? How is that?
Okay, just like you have the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., that's the last word.
Right.
In Michigan, we're lucky enough where we have smaller district courts, which are from city to city.
Okay.
Then you go after the district court, you appeal to the regular circuit court.
Okay.
After you appeal to the circuit court, you go to the state court of appeals. If you don't like their decision, you bypass them. We have our own Michigan Supreme Court.
Got you.
And after them, you can shoot it to D.C.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have that high of a level where we take it to where things go across those guidelines.
Okay.
And you have your elected officials. And our elected officials, have a team that they are provided, where labor has a team we're provided.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they're a little more financially apt, would you say, Nicole?
Yes.
To have a means to an ends to get decisions passed to their vantage point.
Okay.
And it kind of defeats our labor movement to have contractual agreements,
Okay.
to have civil service rules followed, since we are a government entity in AFSCME.
So being a government entity, can you strike?
No,
Okay, so you cannot strike,
no, we cannot.
but you do have a contract.
Correct.
Right.
And that contract is, well, how do you negotiate your contract? And I know I'm kind of going off the beaten path here, but what force do you put behind them to get you a good contract if you cannot strike? What do you do?
That's the problem.
Oh,
We should be able to strike.
okay. I'm not going to, because I'm thinking strike. And don't get me wrong, it's not like the labor movement is using strikes as the way to do everything these days. I work for AT&T. We could have struck. We did not. And it was for various. Our reasoning was a little bit different because every member got to be on board when it comes to striking.
Right.
There you go.
But we do have the fear that we can walk out at any time. How do you negotiate something without that fear? That's my question. How do you do that?
We do negotiate, but negotiations aren't always successful because the difference with the government, since we cannot walk out, they can impose things upon us once our contracts expire.
Oh, so as long as the contract is good, you all are working in a box. And I'm just bringing clarity to this.
Correct.
The moment that contract is over with, they can set the walls up the way they want to set the walls up for you.
And they can actually do that during contract negotiation, I mean, they can tell us, well, this is what we're going to give you. What can we do about it? We're stuck.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we've
We're
had
stuck with what they want to give us, what they want to do with us. We have no recourse of
we do. We have some recourse.
You got some recourse?
But even with what I was indicating is we had a certain local that did not prevail in negotiations. They did not negotiate. They stopped. They went through the Merck process. They went through.
And what
Blair.
process is that? What is that process? Can you explain that to our audience?
Is like a process of a court hearing when you don't agree in labor movement and government. And they weren't successful there, so they went through the steps. They went through all the labor providing steps that they were availed, and after that failed, they did sue. Their lawsuits went all the way to the Court of Appeals, back around to Circuit Court.
Wow.
And that took as long as negotiations were going, and now they're back in negotiations currently now.
Oh.
And our negotiations are usually a 3-year gap in between contracts.
So it took them 3 years to bounce this from court to court, basically.
And they still don't have a contract, and they're just currently negotiating a contract now.
So their hands are tied.
right, exactly.
My goodness. I mean, let's get this straight, though. You all do work collectively still. I'm trying to put this positive into it, right? Because everybody is on the same team when you all are negotiating for your particular contract.
You would hope that we would be on the same team. Anybody that's not administrative, you have supervisory, you have non-supervisory, and you have executive services that are tied into, and you have administrative services that are tied into.
They're all in this contract you negotiating?
Well, my contract, yeah, that's my issue now. I'm trying to get it cleaned up because we're a non-supervisory unit.
Okay.
And that's my fight right now. I'm indicating that this is a non-supervisory contract, so therefore I'm negotiating for non-supervisory individuals.
You know what? Can we back up? Because I'm sorry, I missed something that was vitally important. Who are the workers that you represent? What type of work do they do? Who are they?
Okay. In AFSCME 1659, I am the largest local in Wayne County.
Okay.
I have 17 and a half entities.
Wow.
Wastewater,
Okay.
Suez, Jacobs, and Rockwood. You have the library network. You have registered deeds.
Oh,
you
wow.
have janitorial and some clerical services throughout the Wayne County jails. You have treasurer's department. You have all of the Third Circuit Court employees under the Wayne County Clerk's Office, the Wayne County Clerk's Office, birth and deaths. You have mental health department, which is an authority that's under Wayne County.
Look, you can stop right there because that department there, you know what? We're going to have to come back and do another podcast on that because I'm straight up, that's a sore spot for me, not because I'm crazy, but because our people that have mental issues aren't getting taken care of. That's a whole nother issue. Okay, so we can stop there. So you're dealing, how many different contracts are you dealing with? Is it 17
right now,
or just?
No, right now, Wayne County as a whole, with Veolia, which is wastewater, they were separated. There's still a portion of the Wayne County employees that are stuck down in an entity that's severed to an authority that they didn't want to sever. So they're a portion of the main Wayne County contract I'm doing. But currently, I just finished probate court. I didn't name that one. I just finished them. They're separate from Wayne County's contract.
Okay.
And I'm starting the Wayne County main contract. I'm also doing the healthcare department that's within the jails. The nurses, they were severed too. That's a separate contract from the Wayne County contract. I'm starting that. I'm in the midst of Library Networks contract. So, and I'm wrapping up Suez Jacobs contract. as we speak, we're still negotiating that. So right now I'm working on about 4 contracts.
So, Darlene, let me ask you this, and I'm going off the beaten path. We're going to get back to your story, but I like people to get a background of what, who's on the podcast, what they're dealing with. When it comes to negotiating contracts, how difficult is it in that room? What's the controlling factors? When you go in there, just give us a walkthrough, and not of one particular contract. Just kind of just give us a walkthrough of what it is when y'all sit down and you're across the table. And I've been in contract negotiations, so I kind of already know what you're going to say. Mm-hmm. But for our audience, because people always think, well, they just go in there and ask for it and get it. The reason why we ain't get it, they ain't asked for it. No, that is not true. I can bet you money on that. And I've been in contract negotiation. What is negotiating like for you all? What is it? What is a day of negotiation?
Well, the difference for me, I have a vantage point because I'm a court clerk. I have the background of being in a courtroom. I think the disadvantage for most individuals that negotiate contracts, I understand the language. Yes. I infer things that people wouldn't. And the difference in between me negotiating a contract for Wayne County and my other contract negotiations, I'm in control as the president. Mm-hmm. But when I'm with Wayne County, I'm locked in with 3 other locals.
Oh, my goodness.
So what I'm inferencing and my understanding of the linguistics that are put in the contract, I keep trying to make people aware it's all in perception.
Right.
Everybody has a different perception. I was just speaking with my steward, Nicole, the other day, her perception on overtime. Mm-hmm. You have different articles in your contract.
Right.
You have to refer and connect those articles.
Amen.
You see what I'm saying?
Amen.
So if you're connecting those articles, you may be looking at it at this vantage point, but labor.
Yep.
Labor saying, you said A, B, C, and D, make this box.
Right.
And if you don't follow this box, we got you.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? I got a story for that. So can I tell my real story?
Go ahead.
So we had a person that came in to our local. This was years ago. And they told the president, you don't know what you're doing, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I got my contract book, and I know what this contract book says. Mm-hmm. So the president was like, you know what? Since I don't know what I'm doing, come on down and show me what I'm doing wrong. Mm-hmm. So the person comes down, had the contract book, which how you had those little note tabs and note, and all that stuff, and they had it tabbed up and highlighted, and we supposed to be getting this, and we supposed to be getting that, and we supposed to be getting it, and goes through it, and the president, he looks, said, oh, okay, so I got one question for you. The person said, what? He said, did you read the first sentence? Person looked and said, I read the first sentence. I said, no. Did you read the first sentence? I read the first sentence. What does the first sentence say? This portion is for operator services. Are you an operator? Well, no.
Then why are you citing that sentence?
So you done highlighted all this stuff in this article. This article, you are and I'm just saying tree trimmer because I don't want to give nobody away. You a tree trimmer, but you under operator services talking about, I get this and I get that. And I know you don't. It's to your point. You have to read the contract so you can see exactly what you're getting. Now, back to the contract that you got 3 other locals involved. Do y'all have like a bargaining team that, each one of y'all come in and you all come in and do that bargaining?
We all come in together. And under 1659, we are under the guise of a staff rep. Even though we're presidents. Right. I learned this. I'm newly elected in November.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm a very outspoken individual.
Welcome to the party.
Hey, I'm used to striking out and, taking names and getting board members and et cetera and handling it. So I had to be taken aback once I got elected. I had a situation that was very serious. I like to proceed through the court. I wanted to get an injunctive order put in place to save jobs immediately.
Okay.
And I had to learn, no, you have to first contact your higher ups and then go to this step and this step. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll contact the higher ups and maybe they'll listen, my experience, I'm in the court. I know what to do.
Right.
It doesn't always work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make clear. I processed over 100,000 injunctions.
Wow.
I've been a court clerk since 1997. Okay, so I got it under my belt.
You ain't no joke.
I ain't no joke. So when I asked for this to be put in place to save these jobs, to keep from being sandwiched into the situation I was in, I was told, well, first of all, we have to do this letter, and you have to take this step and this, because we don't know what the court is going to sign.
Well, you know what? In the defense of the staff thing, because we're keeping this general. In the defense of the staff, that is one of their jobs, and I know at CWA, our staff reps and stuff. Even when it comes to arbitrations, because remember, arbitration is binding. So you have to be careful what cases you take, because that case will be used against you. So you know what? I feel where you're coming from. I done had many of arguments with many staff reps, and even our VP, and she's a great person. But here's the thing: with our VP, we can disagree with her, and she's good. She's not gonna blackball you because you disagreed, and that's how the unions are supposed to work. In some cases I've heard different, but that's how they're supposed to work. But it takes people like you, Darlene, where you go in, and Nicole, when you go in and you say, "Hey, I think this should be like this." If you never put the effort forth, you'll never know if you're going to get it or not. And that's the problem with our members right now. Can I just be a little real here? Is they're so used to you and I and the other leadership putting this great foot forward that when we look back and say, "I need you to put your foot forward," they like,
I can't do it.
I had to pull Nicole back. Nicole is my Malcolm X Stewart of 1659. She doesn't have.
You had to punch somebody in the throat?
No.
She
doesn't have the years of most of the Stewarts involved, but she has the tenacity to go for what she knows. And if she's wrong, she'll be taken aback, apologetic, and she'll go another route. But she's about what's right here. And if I'm wrong, show me where I'm wrong. But in the meantime, my members here, where I represent 1659,
I'm very passionate, right?
And see, and you know what? We done got all off the beaten path of your story, but here's the thing. I wanted the listeners to get a backdrop of what you do, because a lot of people think we just walk in there and stuff just falls out the sky. It's a lot of passionate stuff. You just got through telling us that sometimes you have to disagree with your higher ups. Yep. That's a fact, Yes. So it ain't always just like they disagree with you disagreeing with somebody, and it's always that conversation. But you know what? Conflict brings out the best in folks, and I tell people that all the time. The three of us can sit here and argue like cats and dogs. At the end of the day,
what is the resolution?
There you go. And what's the end game?
There you go.
Because the end game, we all want the union to march forward, so we ain't got to fall out over that. But the thing is, it's the way that we want to march the union forward. And once we remember what the end game is, you want to go A, B, C. The three of us can decide to go to D, which has a little bit of everybody's ideals in it, right? Which makes up the union. We are the union. One of the things I hate is when people go the union. Because I'm still looking around like, who is this the union? Where is the union at?
When I send emails, I say union. I don't say the union. I say the union is, or union does, or union requests.
Yes.
I'm not the president. I'm union.
That's right.
I'm not my members. I'm union. And then I answer the end of my email, President Buffington.
We got a president, and Dave, and I ain't going to say his last name because I'm not going to embarrass him, but Dave, his thing was when he was doing our mobilization, he says it should always be our union because it's we're the ones we're only as strong as the weakest link. Think about that.
And
the weakest link is your that's,
Even though you say our union, I say union because I'm an individual. My children as babies, when the city struck, I had my babies out there with the city.
Hello.
And when I see the young people marching around for McDonald's for $15, I'm blowing my horn.
Going, hey,
Right.
I got this. I got you.
I worked
with
with
you.
the UAW.
I'm with you.
It ain't just ours. It's a union.
Yeah, I like
it's
that.
a people. It's an entity, just like when we met at
Yep.
IBEW.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yep.
The unity.
There you go. Same concept. Our union, but it's not the union. And so here's what I want everybody to see. I purposely threw Dave's Our Union at you. Saying you had one way of doing it. I showed you Dave's. And then you saw how we blended that road together and made it go down the street. That's what we have to do as union members.
Mm-hmm.
We have to come together and roll down the street together. But enough of this. Let's get back to the story you are here to tell, because it's amazing because the time, you see how the time just clicks right on up, right? So let's get back to the story. What's going on?
I have issues with Wayne County.
Okay.
As a steward and as an employee. I'm just honestly just straightforward. I have an issue with the fact that our employees are living below the poverty level.
Okay.
Working for a government entity. They haven't had a raise in over 10 years.
10 years?
10
Yes,
years.
we've been without a raise in 10 years.
The health insurance is so unaffordable that many are opting out not to even use the health insurance. So we're walking around with no health insurance, no cost of living raise, no raise period. Some people bring home $600 every 2 weeks.
Oh.
And a portion of that is paid towards the medical.
Right. So you
that
have
they're
to
not
choose,
using.
Right.
Correct.
You have to choose to pay your rent or eat.
Or your car insurance.
Correct. Which is ridiculous.
So we have some employees that are living in their cars. I wanted to bring this forth at a commissioner's meeting because they're in control of our budget and the budgetary things that resolve in Wayne County. I noticed that
there's a lot of homelessness of the Wayne County employees.
Yeah.
I know several Wayne County employees that are homeless.
Whoa, stop. Hold on. Hit the brakes. You're telling me.
Yeah, we have appointees throughout Wayne County that's making over $100,000 a year.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I get that. Hold that thought. Let's go back to this other thought. We're not gonna just whiz over that. Okay, let's just, forgive me for being a little slow. Forgive me for slowing down. So you have a persons, people, folks.
Correct.
I like the word folks because folks is pretty across the board. We have folks that work for Wayne County that's homeless.
Yes.
And they're homeless because they're not making enough money for they're not making a livable wage. Let me just put it right to I was trying to decorate it, but no, they're not making a livable wage. These are people that's getting up in the morning, going to work every single day, basically.
Correct.
However many days that is. They are not somebody on the corner begging. They ain't beating nobody in the head. They're not doing. They are doing what they're supposed to do. They're going to work. They ain't got write-ups and stuff in their files. They are good employees.
Right.
Well, sometimes they receive write-ups because we pay for our own parking.
Well,
and if they don't have the parking money that day and they got to find
you
somewhere
just made it worse
to put in their car, and then you got to think the ones that are living in their car, they want to park and cover parking because they probably got all their clothes in the vehicle. I've had individuals that were severed because they were caught living in the facility they worked in. So they were walked out, and I had to fight for their jobs, or previous presidents fought for their jobs and weren't successful because they violated certain provisions, but they didn't have the money to have anywhere to stay.
This is pretty sad. Y'all didn't, I'm sitting here just, I'm done. I'm really done. Okay, and you were saying that the county execs, y'all didn't depress me on that, right? Now you saying the county, you got some county execs.
All
And we can
county
look
execs.
this up online.
Yeah, you
I
can
believe
look
because
it
this is
up on- we
public.
can look it up
It's
online.
public
It's
knowledge.
public
So
information.
definitely everybody can look this up. This isn't a hey we think. Look it up. See what they're making.
Mm-hmm.
And people are okay. Continue. I'm sorry. Man.
Those are my basic issues.
Those are some great
Yeah,
issues.
those
What
are
you talking about?
those-
Just basic.
right,
issues?
those are my issues that I have with Wayne County.
Yeah, we just want a wage assessment across the board. You know, we can't be compared to other government entities because we're, as I said, the largest, most vast county, but we're also the most privatized.
Yes.
We just want things to be fair in regards to those who hold the power to look at the monetary divisions to know the people you have doing this job, the people who have to kick back into the economics of the revitalization throughout the county that live in this county, you don't want to pay them to keep this county revitalized.
Wow. So, where do we go from here? Because you didn't lay something super duper heavy on it. How do we fix this? How do people are hearing this podcast? How do we fix this? Do people have to write in to the commissioner? Do we have to elect? What do we need
the
to do?
Wayne County commissioners need to have letters sent to them to tell them to look at the cost of living assessment and look at the living wage and look at what they're paying their employees currently and think about the fact they haven't had a raise in over 10 years.
My goodness.
We used to receive a step
year-
increase. That stopped.
And every year the health insurance goes up.
But that's federally. That's something we're suffering from even more because that comes from Washington, D.C., as we all know. So the guidelines have been immeasurable in regards to the services and the payment. But my gripe as a president, I think we're paying out a ridiculous amount because there's so many Wayne County entities, as you know.
Yeah, but I was always told the better deal you get. That's why we have group rates and stuff, right? That's seriously, it's always been told
supposed to be.
if I'm the only one paying, then yeah, I got to pay $1,000. But if I can get 200 people to pay,
I guess
then
with
I'm supposed
me
to pay
being-
like $600 or $700.
Well, we have a monopoly around.
Yeah,
Wayne
and-
County. There's
and-
a certain insurance company that has a monopoly.
And
around Wayne County.
we're currently asking that be looked at. That's something in limbo. There were reasons why that occurred, and that's being discussed to open that up so it's not a monopoly. But the thing is, as I said, we're the largest county there is. You have this amount of employees. Of course, you can't pay for us to park because there's more of us than there is of you all. But don't give the elected officials that make $140,000, $150,000 free parking. Reassess that money, reevaluate that money. Do some reevaluations as to how this money is being effectively spent in the budgets for these individuals that have been elected by us.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And think about the divisory of this money to save the people who need to do the job. Do we need one person making $150,000 or do we need 10 people making $10,000 to get maybe $2,000 more?
Right.
How do you want to spread it apart?
Right.
How do you want to look at this? So yes, write letters, everyone. Let us all unite
So we need people to write letters.
to the Wayne County commissioners
Okay.
and tell them to take a look at what they're doing to the employees throughout Wayne County. I'm not saying this just for my local 1659. I'm saying,
You're saying
this,
that across the board.
I'm saying
Across
it
the board.
across
Okay,
the
no,
board.
that's
I'm
good.
saying Wayne County sheriffs. I'm saying Wayne County nurses. I'm saying Wayne County janitorial. I'm saying Wayne County parks. I'm saying Wayne County circuit court. I'm saying Wayne County friend of the
right.
court. I'm saying Wayne County probate. I'm saying all of Wayne County treasurers, registered deeds, everybody, wastewater. The people down at wastewater, they're doing your treatment plant. They're worrying about the sewage that comes comes through certain entities as an authority. They've been severed, but they still need their payment. They don't want to give them overtime, but you want somebody to work 7 days a week and you don't want to pay them? I mean, we're not back into slavery, are we?
Wow. So let me ask you all something. We got to get people to write in. And that means, our fellow union people too, and the community.
Correct.
Because, that's what this
Whether
LaborVision podcast is about. Is we're not just trying to get here, and it's not just a union march down the street.
There you go.
It's community, because at the end of the day, your union members are part of the community. They take the money that they make at their job and pay their house notes if they can.
And they
get their
spend
grass
money
cut.
with non-union entities. There's
Exactly. Well, they're part of the community.
They're
part of the community. And that is, and I guess that's the reason why we do this podcast, is because we want to show how labor and the community are one. Everybody want to say that labor unions are here and they're greedy. And no. These people are trying to just make a livable wage. Being 10 years without a doggone raise. That's very, very, very sad.
And actually, it's not only just 10 years without a raise. They actually took a pay cut, or we actually took a pay cut some years ago.
Like the teachers did.
Right.
No, like 36th District did. We did the day where you worked.
Furlough days.
A furlough day. So you didn't come into work. We had a 4-day work week, and the employees were getting underemployment from the state of Michigan because they weren't in a 40-hour work week.
Right,
and we were
right.
viably, apt to receive underemployment. People, you don't know about that word, underemployment. It
Right.
means you're employed, but you're underpaid for your employment wage. It's a lot of things that people aren't aware of. I plead for labor to make these people aware of these issues so they know it's not just a labor issue, it's a everybody issue.
So can we go back to the underemployment thing? I want to get some clarity here. So underemployment it's not just being off 4 days. 1 day a week. It's not just being off 1 day a week, but it is based on what you make an hour, correct?
Correct.
Right.
So if let's just say, and I'm just being foolish here for a second. If I make $2,000 a week, working 4 days a week, it would have been $2,500. Let's say that, but I got $2,000. I wouldn't be able to get underemployment, correct?
Well, no, I can't say that. It's based on your family size, your wage.
Well, it's just me.
assessment.
It's
Okay.
just me. It's just me. I'm making think about that. I'm making an enormous amount of money.
No, I think it also depends on what your work week is based on. If
Okay.
you are supposed to be working a certain amount of days a week.
Right. I'm supposed to be working 5, getting paid $2,500. But I'm only, the job cut me back, and I'm getting $2,000 for 4 days.
That's actually a state assessment. If you fall under the guidelines, then you receive the underemployment.
Right. But if I don't fall under those guidelines,
Then you don't
I
receive
will not receive it. So it's a possibility. And this is just we ain't got the law in front of us, so don't hold us to this. But it's a possibility that $2,000 don't fall under those guidelines, because I'm making more money than, where I can qualify for that underemployment. But in you guys' cases, that's not even an issue by no means of making too much money, because you ain't had a raise in 10 years.
Right.
That's where I'm getting at. It's the fact that, getting that underemployment is sad in itself, because that means that you're not making enough money. You're not making that livable wage.
Right.
So we got people. So we need people to write in, right? We people, do they need to visit their these commissioners? Do they need to?
They can speak with their state representatives.
Okay, there we go. Now we get into something. So they can go talk to their state reps
And find out who your precinct delegates are, because your precinct delegates, people don't realize lobbying is power.
Yes.
Lobbying, Lansing, for certain issues to change things. I don't know how they feel about this right to work, but that needs to be pushed. Excuse the quick punt. But
No
yes,
quick pun. Yeah, there you go.
it's like things need to change here. And
Right
you
to work
see-
for less.
Yes, yes. right to work for nothing.
Right.
In
Okay,
our case,
okay, I'm cool with that.
It's-
I mean, I'm
it's
not
a-
cool with that, but I'm cool
yeah,
with that
but, you
saying,
know,
that slogan.
And the poor and the sad thing about the interpretation, these people believe, oh, I withdraw from the union. Union is greedy. No, the union is what you make it. Because
Amen.
if you don't step in to make a change, my campaign when I ran, I said, I'm no better than the last president. I need you to help me make this better.
There we go. There we go. I like
They
that.
fail to see the word unity, union. If you don't come, and then some people say, well, you're too management friendly. There's nothing too friendly because we're all in the same boat.
Right.
And they need me as well as I need them. And we need to do things the correct way. And if we don't know, we need to have somebody help us to find out.
Can I go back to you're being too management friendly?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you all, I'm going to ask both of you a question. Like, if you can both answer it, that'd be perfect. So you are pretend you're my supervisor. Okay. All right. And I done told you what part of me to kiss and where to go and all this stuff. So then I come in your office and I say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. Can you help me? And it's optional. You don't have to help me. What answer are you going to give me as my boss after I done told you what to kiss, what to do, and all this stuff? What answer are you going to give me? And be honest. Don't have your union hat on.
Well, you be lucky if you still had a job.
Right, that's right. So if you do still have a job.
Yeah, I still got a job, but I'm asking you for something. Are you, Nicole, what are you going to tell me? Hey,
I'm going to ask you what is it that you need?
I need X, Y, and Z.
Because obviously you need something because you done told me to kiss you from the rooter to the tutor.
Right,
so,
right, absolutely.
Yeah, obviously you need
Because
something.
I'm the union rep. So I'm supposed to tell you to kiss this and do that and do what?
Well, no, you don't do that as a union rep. You have to be respectful.
But no. I want you to put yourself in the you're the boss.
I will ask you what you need.
I need X. I need X. X.
So
and it's optional.
We can work together.
So you still got your union hat on.
I'm serious. If we don't agree, we can agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna ask you, what is it that you need? What is it that you want? Because we're all in the same boat together.
Okay,
we're all in this together.
So you still got your union hat on, and I'm gonna explain. Hold that thought. I'm gonna explain to you why in a second. What you gonna tell me? I need X.
And I'm gonna ask you why.
Because I need it.
And I'm gonna ask you, what do you need to know? The procedure?
No, I need you to give it to me.
And I'm gonna say,
what is it?
I'm gonna tell you what the procedure is to get what you need.
So where I'm going with this, because I know y'all like, where is he going with this, right? Where I'm going with this is this. You are more willing to give me the X. And I'm just using it generic. When I have talked to you like a human being. Mm-hmm. When I done told you you kissed the rooter to the tutor, are you really gonna let me go home 15 minutes early?
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? That's where I was going. That's why I said, because you was like, oh, me and you in the same boat. We have our union hats on. And that's how I treat management. Mm-hmm. I treat them like human beings because I don't like when they treat our members like subhumans. Mm-hmm. So I have to be the example. And that's what I'm hearing from you, both of you. You're treating the management team like humans. This is how I want to be treated. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we can work together. And those managers, believe it or not, it's times where they go, you know what, we ain't even going to argue over that. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to give that to you because of our relationship. Now, here's the flip side of that coin. You got union members that's going, you in there kissing A? No, because here's the thing, my brother, my sister. If I don't have that relationship with them and you need something happened to your kid and you need to get out of here early and I get you released.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
I can't get you released. I thought I told this.
Right.
Come on now, y'all. I mean, let's be honest about this.
You have to have that's why
I say I would ask you,
what is it that you need?
Right. Well, yeah, you were definitely like real like, oh, yeah, man, somebody told you to. I tell you what, somebody tell me to kiss something. No, you can't leave 15 minutes early. No, I don't care who got hurt. No, go back to work. In fact, I'm about to dock you because you're away from your desk so long. about that.
Yeah, I mean, we had that instance where
We have fun here at LaborVision. That's what we do.
We had that instance for a while with my local, where everybody felt that if we pushed harder, that you would receive more. But then they when I came in, they were like, "Well, why isn't this done? This isn't done." Because union and management wasn't talking.
Right.
Give me the opportunity now that we're talking, and maybe we can move something forward.
That's right. That's right.
You got to be able to talk. If you study sparking and try to make that fire, and y'all bouncing off each other, that kinetic energy, pop, snap, crackle, you ain't gonna get nowhere. You just gonna keep having them sparks. And management, that's what people need to realize. They can put the brakes on and pull that lever, and that train won't ever leave that track.
Amen. Amen. Hey, ladies, now final question, because we got to wrap this up. Can I get you guys, ladies, can I get you ladies to come back?
Certainly.
All right. I mean, you know what? Very excellent points. Can you give the audience one last final point? What should they do? I just want to make sure we're clear. Everybody understand what is it that you want everybody to do, and anything else any other part of the story you want told. Go.
For me, I want everyone to unite. I want us to write the county commissioner, write your state reps, call your state reps, call your county commissioners, call your elected officials, and let them know that we need change.
And that we're your family too. We're employees. I know myself. I got 22 cousins, okay, from one uncle. You get what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm your family. When we got barbecues, I'm the main one because I'm the president. They think they can ask me for. You can't ask me for nothing. I ain't getting paid. So y'all think about the cousins and brothers and sisters that work for Wayne County. Y'all asking for $5 for gas money. And remember, if y'all don't write the commissioner and y'all don't talk to these people, then President Buffington and Stuart Nicole and your other cousins working for Wayne County cannot assist you, because we are broke to did, just like y'all.
And hungry.
Well, ladies, I would like to
sick.
Well, ladies, I would like to thank you, Darlene Buffington, president of 1659 AFSCME, and Nicole Greer. Now, I want to say Chief Stewart because you sound so good. I'm just going to say Stewart. Stewart is a thankless job. President is definitely a thankless job. You can ask my president. He's probably like, it's a thankless job. Hey, and this is LaborVision. We want you to hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, rate us, like us. Listen, tell all your friends about the show because it is a great show. Again, I'd like to thank AFSCME Local 1659. Ladies, you did a fantastic job. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, you are welcome anytime. Take care. Talk to you soon. All right.